Hi guys, Phil Montgomery from Philville Honeybees. Doing some checks late March. This is a time when we should be doing build up, build up, build up. These guys are still, if you see I have 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. I got about 5 frames of bees in here, so they're doing pretty good. It made it through winter as a double deep, and then I took away a box because it just didn't have enough bees. So what my goal here now is, what I have to make sure here, they're still using the sugar, which is cool, but I need to make sure that they're not honey bound. So what happens a lot of times, you'll have brood, brood, honey, honey. So you have two or three brood in the middle, then honey, honey. When you have that, then they can't expand any further. And so you want to make sure that's not the condition that your hive's in. They are eating the sugar still, which means they're hungry bees, which is good. And one thing, I probably need to smoke them just a little. Most of my bees are really, really nice, and I don't need to smoke them hardly any, but this gets them off of the sugar so I can get in here and do an inspection. One of the things that I'm just looking for space with these guys. These guys are ahead of some of my smaller hives, so I'm looking to see look for a couple things. I have my handy dandy queen pen. So where is the queen marked? Is she not? Do I have space to lay? I'm gonna start either on the outside one or next to the outside one. Try my best to pull them directly out. So this is a hungry hive. You can tell they're still working the food. That's pollen and nectar. And this one's empty. So see, this was on the outside. This has a little bit of honey here, then it's empty. This should be on the inside. This part should be on the outside. You want to have an empty comb. See, that one's almost all the way empty. So, oopsie, just crushed the bee there. So what you need to do is put on a pin as you're going through here. What are they? I know an empty, I don't want it way on the outside like that. Where I've had dead outs, and it's another one, mostly empty. So I told you this was a hungry hive. That's why they were still eating that sugar. There's another empty. That's a completely empty one there. So I don't like to shake a whole lot of bees off the frames while I'm inspecting, because they'll get mad. So this is nectar. And a lot of bees. Look at all the bees. So this hive's doing really good. I'm looking for my queen. Shouldn't be on here, but you just never know. So this is full of nectar. The other side's empty. So I'm always going to turn that around, put the empty towards the brood nest. And I'm going to put on here N on one side, E on the other. Now they're getting a little loud. I don't like that. So I haven't seen any brood yet. I think they're going to be fine, but they're awful loud. So hopefully I'll see some brood on this frame. There we go. Some bees react to smoke different than others. Some bees will get real loud when you hit them with the smoke. Some bees act like they weren't hit with smoke at all. So look here, I'm packed with bees. All kinds of cat brood. You gotta watch these little things like this. This can kill a bunch of bees on the way out. It's the first queen cup I've seen all year. So I got all kinds of brood in here and cat brood, and I'm gonna look real good for my queen, because this is the best time of the year to find the queen before the hive blows up and gets really, really big. This one's getting ready to get really, really big. This is doing everything you want it to. They're growing, they're eating. Looks like they have some storing. I don't like that fat stuff on the bottom. and one of them's a queen cup, so that's perfect. Cat brood. So see, I now have cat brood next to an empty. Before it was cat brood next to nectar. You don't want that. Always want to have an empty frame of brood next to your cat brood. I'm looking for the queen real good. Whew. Beekeeping is hard work. I don't feel overly energetic today. Sometimes stuff has to be done. Look at all the bees, and it's just a really, really healthy hive. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. This is cat brood with new brood, a larvae right behind it. So she's totally doing her job. So me as a beekeeper, I need to make sure that she has somewhere to lay. And if I can, I need to find that rascal. When you know where she is, you can be more careful with her. Some queens freak out and run away from you, and they're easier to squish. Already killed one queen this year on accident. That was a bummer. It's one full thing of cat brood. This time of year, when everybody else isn't eating the sugar, and they are, that just means they're a healthy, hungry hive. There's a whole bunch more brood surrounded by pollen. It's hard to find a queen sometimes. Sometimes I'm really good at it, and other times not. Last time I went out, I marked 3 queens. And the more and more bees they get, the worse it is. There's eggs on this one. See how this was all cat brood. If you look at it empty here, that means they already hatched and she put eggs in there. So she just needs more space. So that's where me as a beekeeper, see, there's the queen. Can you see her? The big blue dot on her? So she's in this frame of cat brood digging around. This is where I earn my money as a beekeeper. This is an empty comb. So I'm gonna put this in here. That way I know that she's in here. So right next to where she was, she's on this side of the frame. I put an empty right here. And then what I'm gonna do is right here on this side, this one's a little bit of honey and mostly empty. I'm gonna put another empty. Now she has 2 empties to lay into. Okay? So I'm gonna put on here empty, empty, then this is where the queen was right there. So I'm gonna push those together, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get to the end right here. This one's empty on this side, nectar on this side. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stick another empty on this side. So see, now I've just given her 4 empties. And she was honey bound. Now what I'm gonna do here, this one here is pretty heavy. So I got sugar and nectar here, and then tons of nectar and pollen here. So see that this box is ready to go. She is totally ready. I've done my job as a beekeeper, and she is totally ready to expand her brood nest now. She can do whatever she wants. So I'm giving them the sugar back just because they were still eating it, really. Most of the hives haven't been eating it, so I haven't fooled with it. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my shim on, and I'm gonna give her a goodly amount of pollen sub. On my box, I'm gonna write on my box, I just painted my box. I left them where they were and come and rolled them. So I covered up all my writing from last year. But down here, what I'm going to put on here is Queen Right marked blue. So I'm going to put on here, it's 26 Queen Right marked blue, which means that I know next time I come, I'm looking for a blue dot. I don't have to figure that out again. I'm going to go ahead and give them about 3/4 of a pound of pollen sub. And I'm going to spread it out so wherever they are, they can eat it. So I'm going to put some over top of those. So she only has 3 frames of brood. But what happened, she had brood, 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 honey, brood, 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 honey on both sides. She had no way to go. When you find your queen on a frame that has a lot of honey in it, that means they don't have room to lay. So that's your job as a beekeeper, is to make them room to lay. She would have not grown until they ate all that honey. So what they would have tried to do is consume it, or they would have tried to move it. And then in about, so this one will probably be good to go for honey flow. This one will become a production hive. So by the time, I still have a month, so they have plenty of time to get up. I'm not going to boost these guys. I'm not going to do anything except for, I'll wait till they're 8 frames of bees, and then I'll give them another box. And then what I'll do in that box, the majority, that'll be empty full combs. So that'll allow them to go ahead and to grow quicker. I hope my teaching and tricks and tips have helped you. And I hope you have a great bee season. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to put a new lid on here. I have this one I found's a little bit bowed. But I'm going to put me a lid on here like this. And then I'm going to go get me a different one, I think. And then what I'm going to do is put me a jar feeder in here. That'll allow them to start eating sugar. Hope you're doing well with your beekeeping. It's Phil Montgomery. I appreciate if you subscribe. Be blessed.